Hey, happy Friday everyone, and welcome to today's live, and welcome back if you've been here before. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny and manifesting the life you desire, and I go live every Monday and Friday for tarot readings, and on Wednesdays I now offer more in-depth pre-recorded readings. So please do check that out. The list is now open for that. Please do check the guidelines as well for that. It's different kind of reading to what we do here. As usual, if you would like a free reading today, please click the link in the pinned comment and you'll be added to the list. And then I just read the list in order. So please do wait until your name is called to post your question. And if your name is called and there's no answer, then I will have to skip just in order to keep the flow going and to keep the live moving. And a reminder of how I read. To bear in mind when asking your questions. So I'm an energy reader tuning into you and your situation to bring you clarity. So please do provide as much context as possible. It allows me to connect to your energy and anyone in the situation. Okay, so just give me some context as much as you feel comfortable, but enough for me to connect to your energy essentially. I don't do yes no questions and I don't do timeline. But let's get into it. I hope everyone is well. Hey to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Hey Chanley, lovely to see you here. Hey Nettie, Ari, Mystic, Divine and Anne. Lovely to see you here. Thanks for everyone that did like and comment on the Wednesday post as well. So if you did receive a reading for that, please do check it out. Please do like and comment to support the channel. And even if you didn't submit a question, it may be worth checking out that Wednesday reading too. There may be some messages in there for you as well. Spirit has a way of getting these messages to us. Or if not, you can submit a question for next week's readings. But I'm going to copy and paste I'm going to get the list in the chat for everyone. Anshuman is first. I haven't seen if they're here yet, but Anshuman, if you are here, please do post your question. You are first on the list. So we have Anshuman and then we have Anne Franklin. And for anyone interested, today I'm using the Muse Tarot deck, which is one that I use regularly. My tried and tested, my tried and true. Let me just sort out these flowers as well. So I haven't seen Anshuman, so I think if we just go with Anne Franklin, my love, if you want to go ahead and post your question. And we'll get started. General reading for me, please, says Anne. Sure thing. So what does Spirit want you to know right now, Anne? Spirit, please bring a message through for Anne. What does she need to know right now? Three of Emotions. Three of Emotions is a card of, it really has quite a light-hearted energy. It's a card of celebration. It's a reminder I always see to tread lightly, if and when we can. Connect with friends, connect with loved ones, those that support us and can lift our spirits, okay? This is like a reading as a kind of social situation. And in Emotions is as well about a reminder to focus on our heart space. Today, do something kind for yourself, fill your cup. What would make you feel lighter? What would lift your spirit? I'm going to pull one more card. Ace of Materials. Some kind of opportunity or fresh start, new beginning on the horizon. And so this can be in a small way or it can be in a big way, because we're always in kind of a cycle, energetic cycle of endings and new beginnings. But Ace of Materials is maybe about focusing, setting out on, I know you've been working on yourself really, and releasing things that don't serve you, being opening up to new love, new experiences. And this is about an offering of some sort on its way to you to help you in this direction, this new path that I feel like that you're going on, that is very centered and very grounded because it's materials. But somehow this is about it becoming more tangible. When we see an Ace of Materials, it's about the almost like a first step of progress of whatever we've been manifesting. And this is the approach I think that is needed as well. So keep it light. Do something today that fills your cup, and this will help usher in and help you progress on this new path, is what I'm hearing. Look how centered this person is, and all this growth from these flowers. Both very positive cards. Suggest a fresh start, new beginnings. So I hope that resonated, Anne. Thank you, Chanley, for having your question ready. Hey to people in the chat. So Miller, new subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. And Tamir, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If you'd like a free reading, check the pinned comment and you'll be added to the list. I'm glad that resonated, Anne, for you. Love and light to you. Thanks, Chanley, for helping out in the chat. So, Chanley, this is for you. Chanley asks, general reading, anything spirits would like to tell me? So, Spirit, what does Chanley need to know in this moment? What does Chanley need to know right now, Spirit? Ooh, look at this. Major Arcana, the Sun card, Chanley. How gorgeous. The happiest card in the deck. Focusing on your joy, your happiness. The message that comes through to me is you need to put your happiness first, Chanley. Maybe you have lately been putting your needs, your desires on the back burner, putting something else or somebody else first. And Spirit has come through to say that you need to switch that up and you need to put your happiness first. So you may be faced with the situation. It may just be a continuation of energetically giving too much to others, giving too much to a situation about what you're getting back, and trying to balance that. If you're someone who naturally gives a lot, is a giver. I talk about sometimes drains and radiators of people, okay? Sometimes people walk into a room and they can drain the energy. Some people walk in and they are looking to give, looking to help others, looking straight off from the bat, you know, looking to heal, healers of the world in many respects. But this is a reminder from Spirit, a very clear, straight message, even if it's just today, Chanley, if you can just manage that for at some point today, or it could be in a broader situation that you are faced with. Choose yourself and put yourself first and your happiness first this time around, okay? It will serve you and ultimately it will serve those around you for the better. So I hope that resonated with whatever's going on for you. It is, isn't it, Anne? Hey, Samreen. That's my channel, says Chanley. I've been working on it. So next up we have Kristen. There's two Kristins. So this is just Kristen. There is another Kristen Conler. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So this is just Kristen. Hey Judite, thanks for letting me know that you're still here. You are after Kristen. I don't know if Kristen's here. It's busy today, which is nice, which is great to see. Some new faces here, some familiar faces. Hey Kristen, thank you. So Kristen says, last time you read, my ex and I had spoke. He had a lot to say. Then he blocked me. Why did he do that? Ooh. That's a head mash, isn't it, Kristen? To have a deep conversation. And then to be blocked. Let's see what that's about, Kristen, okay? Spirit, why did Kristen's ex block her? Temperance, Major Arcana. Interesting. I feel like this is your energy, okay? Temperance is about wanting to restore harmony, okay? Having to be patient, but wanting to restore balance as well. But temperance is about, I'm going to pull another card to look closer at his energy. But I feel like in order for you to like navigate the situation with him, and if you want to reconnect, first it will take time, patience. I imagine it already has, but that continues to be the case. It's like almost having to be super calm, super patient, very zen-like, yeah? That's all the vibes that temperance gives. It's like allowing the river to carry you. And we can't almost, like, we just have to, yeah, like let the river take us. We can't force this situation. Can you tell the spirit though why these mixed messages from Kristen's ex? Five of Emotions. Five of Emotions is when we're almost, this is their energy, okay? When we're in a kind of emotional spiral. Five of Emotions is when we are fixating on what has gone wrong, what has been lost, what didn't work out. And what the Five of Emotions asks us to do, or what Spirit would advise your ex to do if they could speak to them directly, is that we need to pull ourselves, find some inner strength and pull ourselves up and out of this kind of negative mindset, in a way of fixating on what didn't work out and what went wrong, rather than what remains, what potential is still here. Because in the traditional card, the Five of Emotions or the Five of Cups is 3 cups spill over, which is the loss, but 2 cups remain, which represents the potential and the hope for this relationship that still stands. Now with the 5, this does say that it will pass, Kristen, so that's something to give you hope if you're hoping to reconnect. and they will shift out of this kind of energy. But at the minute, why they blocked you, why they sank back into what went wrong in this connection, and at times that's all, at the moment that's all they can see, and they're not in an emotional place of really wanting to work on this or work it out, work it through. They're just fixating on what went wrong, the disappointments. And what they really need to do, and what Spirit would advise, is kind of say, you know, in some ways, let that go. Let's move past this and focus on the potential. And because it's a 5, then this is hopeful that actually will happen, because the 5 energy is quite fleeting. It feels very intense at the time, but it passes through, it passes in, and it passes out. So just hold steady. Spirit says, be in your temperance, be in your zen. Just allow them to kind of do their thing. They may be sulking a bit. They may be just being, you know, a neggy Nora. Just let them get on with it. It will pass. And you just hold on to your temperance energy and hold on to your calm, Kristen. Okay? So I hope that resonated. So I'll do a list update now. Judite, my love, you are next. I think I'll have to close the list quite soon because it is filling up. But yeah, we have Judite. There's the list update for anyone who would like to check where they are. Thank you, Judite. What's the energy from my colleague, Jitesh, towards me? Do you feel tension, Judite? Do you feel... Tell me a little bit more about what's going on with your colleague. Christian says, yeah, he wanted it his way, and the only way it will work is if I have to do things the way it will work for me. Sure thing. He only sees it didn't work his way. Yeah, so that kind of sulking energy that I picked up on. I keep hoping he will see in the long run it will work out. Well, that 5 would suggest a change of energy, but yeah, he is fixating on what didn't happen, and so say in this case what didn't go his way. That sulking energy, and at the minute that's all that he can see. But watch this page, Kristen. Watch this space even. Watch this page. Watch this space. And I see a shift happening. Ooh, okay, Judite. Thanks for the context. So you're permanent and he's not on contract. I feel he may want to have my job. Oof. Okay. You're welcome, Kristen. Kristen, you might be interested in checking out the Wednesday in-depth readings. The list is open. This goes for anyone. But if you've got a kind of quite complex situation and you want a deeper read, then the Wednesday readings that I do may be something worth checking out. Just check the guidelines to be considered. You can find that on my community page, or the link is in the description box of the video. Okay, Judite, this is for you. Let's get a read on this person's energy. I agree, Samreen. Work politics are some of the most savage, yeah? People are ruthless. Okay, night materials, two materials. Earth energy, work energy, you know, you see there, they have like the arrogance of a knight, yeah? The night materials can be like a kind of know-it-all energy. And the night materials has more to learn. So I think you need to have faith in that, in yourself, Judite, in the sense that your knowledge, your experience will see you through and kind of win out the day, okay? Because the night materials, interestingly, is you see them sort of galloping here forward. They have that kind of confident energy moving forward. They have a sort of expectation maybe of how they see it all working out for them. But the night materials is actually quite slow moving with regards to progress. So there's a lot more work ahead of them to actually get to where they want to be. And the night materials is quite a slow moving kind of ploddy energy, okay? It's really just about knuckling down and having to put the graft in. And this is advice for you, which is interesting to materials. So I see a time ahead for you where there is the potential for you to be overwhelmed, Judite, and you must stay centered and you must stay focused, okay, at this time, and ground yourself, because you're having to deal with a lot, okay? Maybe have a lot of work on your plate, have a lot of, and then this new situation's been introduced, which is like this layer of office politics that has come in. But the thing is, this is where your experience and your work ethic, your maturity, your experience really comes into its own and comes into play, because you've probably been in situations like this before, yeah, where there's been tension at work, tension between colleagues, and you've survived that, you've rode it out. So stay centered, stay grounded, try to roll with the punches on this one. He's confident, but he's actually not good enough. Yes, so there's actually, so when I say confident, it doesn't mean that he is valid in his confidence, okay? There's actually, what the card is saying is that there's a lot of work ahead for him that he doesn't realize. So he'll probably get a sharp shock about the reality and realization of actually the work that it does take to really get to grips with this role and to be in the position that you are. So hang on to your hat. Don't let him knock you off your balance. Stay centered, stay grounded. Let the situation and let the work be the lesson to him, okay? You'll find out the hard way. The work situation, Judite, will show that to him, okay? I don't see you having to worry. You're welcome, Judite. So, Anne, my love, you are next. So for anyone asking with regards to if it is their turn, please do refer to the list, which I post regularly in the chat. I move through readings in the order they come in. I always do my best to keep things flowing. So I just ask everyone to relax and enjoy the messages as they come through, even if it's not your turn. Spirit has perfect timing for all of us, okay? So just, enjoy the energy that's been shared in the space, and refer to the list that is regularly posted in the chat if you want to know where you are. Okay? So Anne asked, so let me just see who's next. Sorry, where we're at. So it's Samreen. Sorry, Samreen, then Anne. Samreen, you're absolutely right. So I'll read for Samreen, then I'll read for Anne. So Samreen asks, last reading positive cards came out. Just wanted to see if the energy is still the same between me and my ex. Is he going to reach out to me soon? So I don't do, that was my fault, Anne, no worries. I don't do yes, no questions, Samreen. So if he's going to reach out to you soon. But let's have a look at the energy at the moment. Their feelings towards you, Samreen, okay? Ooh, more positive cards. Continue, Samreen. 10 of emotions, 10 of cups. Is about emotional fulfillment, Samreen. This is a wish coming true, heart's desires. Look at all these beautiful colours here. Pinks, oranges, it's so warm, this card. So this is contentment, happiness. I'm going to pull one more card. Major Arcana. So there is a new cycle, I believe. Look how this this world mirrors that central circle to me. It seems to echo between these two cards. I think that you are entering, there is going to be a shift, Samreen, and it's going to be a positive shift, okay? I feel like finally, because it's been quite stagnant energy between the two of you in many respects, and there hasn't been much movement, or there's been a bit of, it's been kind of a bit angsty energy in some ways. One step forward, two steps back. And I feel like the world cosmos is talking about a new cycle that is on the horizon. And I know in the past that we had that Wheel of Fortune, which comes to mind as well, which talks about change. And I feel like this is a positive shift. You are moving into a better, a new, different kind of energy together. I don't know what will be the catalyst of this, of this change. But it's certainly a happier era. It's a smoother path ahead. I know that maybe that you feel more detached from the situation, so it may be just the right time, divine timing, like we spoke of, that, once we can let go of things, that's when in some ways we can, how energy works, how manifestation works, it can come through for us when we can release it and let go of it. So it's a new cycle for you both. And it has that 10 of emotions energy, which is softer, which is more open, it's more loving, it's more kind, it's easier between you two. So I'd be interested to see how this plays out. The world, yes, that's the world cosmos, that's the world card. Yeah, exactly. In the past, you've had lots of tension, lots of wands, lots of fire, like you say, swords. But I do, yeah, absolutely. The cards, there's been a real shift. Okay, so I'm just going to close the list now, and then Anne, I will read for you. So just bear with me, guys. Hey Tia, I hope you're well. So Anne, my love, this is for you. Thank you for your question. So Anne asks, my crush and I are not in any form of communication, but whenever I meet him, I get a strong sense that he might also feel something for me. Could you please check if he holds any unspoken feelings or emotions towards me? I know that the last reading was did confirm that, Anne. So I would bear that in mind, when a question is asked previously, and the answer is brought through, it may take time for that to unfold, but I would believe the energies at that time, to not just, I guess, keep asking the same question, because that question was already answered. So I don't know if you want to rephrase that, because I know in the last reading it confirmed that there were positive emotions and that the feeling was mutual in the past, Dan. So maybe if you would want to ask what comes next or what you should do to move things forward, have a think on what you might want to ask. It's just a way for us to respect the cards, respect spirit, that if we ask a question and it gets answered, that we listen. So Divyansha, you were on the list. Okay, so what comes next? So Spirit, please, let's take a look at for Anne and this connection. We know that the feelings are mutual. So Anne, I would say, trust that. Your intuition is also telling you that. Spirit, confirm that. So what comes next? Oh my goodness. 10 of Voices, 10 of Swords. I hear the words, I hear the expression, the end of suffering, Anne. So I feel like, just tell me with regards to love, because I know it's been like maybe a difficult road, and that there's been quite a lot of pain, and there's been betrayals, and there has been suffering. And the 10 of Voices marks the end of that cycle, okay? So I feel like that this person is connected to opening up a new cycle for you and allowing you to actually get some closure on the past, okay? Like maybe you've got actually let people into your heart, let people into your life in a romantic and love way, and then have felt on quite a deep level maybe some kind of betrayal, because the 10 of Voices cuts deep. Yeah, it can be a series of rejections, like, death by 1,000 paper cuts, or it can be that maybe a particular person that comes to mind where you feel that kind of really messed with your trust and betrayed you, yeah, and gave you a lot of hesitancy and fear kind of around love and around opening up. And there's something about this connection and this person that does mark the end of this cycle. So what comes with this new cycle then, Spirit? So it marks the end and the closure of this era, this 10 of Voices era. Lovely. 8 of Materials, something actually to build. So the 8 of Materials is something stable. If we think of an 8 as well, like, you can see how this is, what kind of jumps out to me is like balance as well. The 8, the 4 and the 4. And I think it's like, this is your energy, Anne, okay? That you've put in the work, you've done the insight, the personal work, you've reflected, you've learned from your experiences. And I feel like that this connection will be something to build on, and material is something tangible, okay? And I feel like, yeah, it will take effort, and the journey will take, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's kind of like the intention, and it will just take consistent effort, I think, for you to be able to get to where you want to be. But this person is also kind of blossoming. If we see here, like, look how beautiful she is. This is your energy. And I feel like that you are finally being able to get to be seen and get to shine your light. Like all this blossoming of flowers, this huge rose on her head, this gorgeous outfit that she's wearing. It's like she's really shining to me. And the words, the expression, like your hard work paying off, also comes to mind. So I hope that you can make progress with this connection. The Eight of Materials suggests that you will. Would you feel like it would be right for you to reach out and make a move to them, like just in conversation? Does that feel possible? Or trust the process, you know, if you feel like it needs to come from them, then I totally understand that as well. But there does feel like to be an opportunity here, an opportunity for you to blossom. So I hope that resonated, Anne. Tia Bia, my love, you are next. I'll do another update so everyone can check where they are. Thanks, Tia. You're waiting for the right moment, Anne. Absolutely. Trust that process. Work on manifestation, maybe, Anne, as well, if that's something to practice for that right moment to come through, for this person to come through. Try to visualize that in your mind. So Tia asks, you're very welcome, Anne. Thank you for your question. So Tia asks, the Pisces and I have been spending some time and communicating more. Just wanted to get an energy check on what to expect with us next. Sure thing. What comes next, Spirit, for Tia and S? Oof. Transformation. A transformation, Tia, okay? And 10 of Inspiration has been the end of a cycle for you. So there could be quite a breakthrough moment here, because can you see how this moth here is breaking out of this chrysalis? And I feel like this breakthrough is going to come in how you view your relationship, and maybe have a breakthrough moment about how a relationship can be after, you know, the difficulties that you've had in the past. because the Death card, it's a major arcana, and it talks about the end of an era, okay? And I feel like this with the Ten of Inspiration, it's more like the struggles that you've been through. The Ten of Inspiration is the burdens that you've carried. Again, you've been on really quite a journey, and you've had a lot of battles, and at times maybe like relationships have felt like a burden for you, Tia. And this is being able to put that burden down. So this person, this Pisces, does represent a fresh start and a new way of being able to interact with someone. And I think what I keep hearing is that it will change your idea of relationships, okay? And that maybe how your relationships, maybe you've had similarities before in the past, have always been, I don't know what your patterns are, Tia, okay? Maybe that relationships have always felt somewhat of a struggle. And the Ten of Inspiration is when we can put that struggle down, yeah? We can put that burden down, finally. One more, Spirit. Whoa, and another major arcana. So this is like a big deal, this connection in many ways. Justice, fair outcome. Yeah, getting some, it will feel like maybe justice. You know, like finding our happiness is kind of like a FU to our past relationships, isn't it, that didn't work out. It's like getting some kind of justice. And again, this person who is you, Tia, is transforming in this relationship, leaving an old self behind, an old belief behind, emerging as somebody new, something new. So I feel like this relationship has the potential to be very different from what you've experienced in the past. Maybe this person is able to look after you and support you more. Yeah? And actually be a partner instead of someone who maybe is often that you felt like that you're looking after them, or, you know, it's kind of one-sided. So it feels like a big deal to you with those two major arcanas. And like you say, yes, this does feel like a fresh start. Do you feel like it's new in many different, yes, it's a new relationship, but it's new in many ways for you. So keep us posted about what that looks like. How does that manifest, yeah? Kristen Conlar, my love, are you here? Please go ahead and post your question. Tia says, yes, in the past, they're one-sided. You're very welcome, Tia. So we have Kristen Conlar, if you are here. We have Mystic Road. Please go ahead, post your question. I know there's a delay in the chat for me. So oh, there's Kristen, awesome. So I'm always a bit heartbroken. Sorry, what am I talking about? I'm reading Kristen's question. I'm always a bit delayed in the chat. I'm not always a bit heartbroken, just sometimes. Hi, Seer. Last time you read about my ex, you said he is heartbroken. I remember that, the Three of Swords, wasn't it? I just want to know if I can expect any actions from him. Sure, let's see where he's at now, what his plans are. sorry, Christine. Yeah, that's just the delay in my chat. So, right, let's see where he's at now. Two of inspiration. Making plans, yeah. This is like maybe, so if you've had like no contact, silence, or what has felt like a wall, really, I would see that as this like wall of silence, emotional kind of blocks. Someone's got their walls up, yeah. The two of inspiration is when that wall gets punctured, okay, and it's like a breakthrough moment, and that moment, that breakthrough moment, comes from their heart's desires kind of rising up. You know, the fire, inspiration is fire. So it's when our feelings really kind of get the better of us almost, and we need to act on our emotions and our feelings. And the cracks start beginning to show of the wall that we've put up, yeah? And the feelings of what we want and wanting to reach out to you, Kristen, and wanting to reconnect, I see, begins to get stronger and begins to make cracks in this wall. Because I know he messed up, didn't he, if I can remember rightly. He messed up and he like shame spiraled, I think, into feeling like he blew it and was heartbroken. But the two of inspiration is when we begin to make plans. So this is them looking to the future and thinking with regards to you that how am I going to reach out to her? How am I going to make contact? Kind of a bit like, where do I start with this? But the desire for, they are actually in that energy of looking to the future and thinking about the future and thinking of ways to bring you back into their life, if that makes sense, yeah? So tell me one more, Spirit, about, at the minute, they're maybe in the contemplation stage, trying to figure out, trying to maybe find the courage even as well, Kristen, to reach out to you. Will he find the courage, Spirit? The moon, so there's a lot of insecurity here still. I feel like at the minute he is just assessing and thinking of a way to reach out. There's a lot here that I think to you that he would feel very insecure about how you would respond to this. And I suppose that fear of being shut down by you. The moon card talks about insecurities, anxieties, fears, worries, you know, and being kind of dominated by that. And also that the path isn't clear, because it certainly isn't, is it? There's been messiness, and they would have to take a risk, yeah, really, essentially, and strike out in the dark, and they don't know how this would land with you. And I mean, do you know how that would land with you? I don't know how, maybe you wouldn't even know how you would respond or how you would feel if they actually did reach out to you. I don't know how open you are. So there's a lot of fear and worry, and at the minute, so this is a snapshot of where they are. They're trying to find the courage, Kristen, but they have really got you in their sights of their future. They would like you to be in their future, but they're just figuring out how to make that happen, and also trying to find the courage to make that happen. But I imagine how you feel that, you know, it has to come from them, They have to take that risk. They have to find that courage and make that effort and take that risk, really, of, you know, if you do reject them, then so be it. But yeah, that's what I feel like, Kristen, when you say I honestly also don't know. So there's a lot of unknowns still in this connection. But anyway, what's positive to take from this? If you are hoping for them to take that risk, it would be satisfying, yeah, for them to take that risk. But they are contemplating that. And when they think of the future, they want to bring you into their future. Keep us posted. Mystic Rose, you are... sorry, Road. I think I always call you Mystic Rose. Mystic Road, you are next, my love. And then we have Nettie. Please go ahead and post your question. Please do check out as well my latest video for your questions answered, which is a deep dive into some personal questions from the community, and the list is also open for anyone who would like to submit for next week. You're very welcome, Kristen. Keep us posted for sure. So I'm just waiting for the few questions to come through. So we've got Mystic Road, Nettie, and we have our Peter. Please get your questions ready. Mystic Road, go ahead and post. Maybe Nettie and our Peter aren't here. So, country, are you here? Oh, so it looks like we're getting spammed. Hold on. So, Cynthia, the list is closed for today. I'm sorry, but I will be back live on Monday. So, country, thank you. General, please. What does Spirit feel I need to know the most right now? Absolutely. And then Nettie, I'll read for you after. Ooh, I'm going to take that. Ooh, 10 of Swords, 10 of Voices here for you, country. Talks about a painful situation. 10 of Voices is something that really stings, yeah? A betrayal often by someone, or a situation where, yeah, somebody really let you down, someone really did not behave right, okay? It could be more than one occasion. It could be about how your low mood, even sometimes, if we have been feeling this of late. 10 of Voices, emotionally down. And the 10 of Voices talks about the end of this, okay? That's the silver lining of the 10 of Voices, is it says that the worst is over, country. That's what Spirit wants you to know. The worst is over. And the 10 is somewhat of an end of an era. And what comes after a 10 is an ace, so a fresh start, a new beginning of sorts. Let me know if this resonates, like what this pain is, where it's coming from, what's that about, and why Spirit has brought this through. Obviously, because I don't know the full picture, the ins and outs of what's going on for you behind the scenes. It could be something recent, it could be something a long time coming that you've been needed to be released from. Oh my goodness. And then we've got the Tower, country. What is going on? So again, this talks about something where the Tower moment is, you know, when we think something is stable, we think something is, and we really get kind of rocked by something, and it really rattles our foundation. So this runs deep. This is something that has, I believe this Tower moment has already happened for you. Country says it does resonate. I'm feeling a new start, doing a ton of healing lately. And the Tower card is, it's like when we're going along on a certain path. And then what I like to call the Tower moment is like a spiritual intervention in a way, when the rug gets ripped out from under us, okay? And we get shaken to the core and something breaks down that is really quite unexpected. It can be very tumultuous when it happens. It can be really quite shocking kind of stuff. One of those moments where it kind of blows your mind that you're like, oh, I can't actually believe this is happening. But it is happening. But what the Tower moment, what it does is that it clears out rather abruptly, but it clears out people, places, things that are no longer meant for us. Old, stagnant energy, toxic energy. Spirit comes in and cleans house for us because maybe we're not in a position to do it ourselves. So Spirit just comes in and says, sorry, this is not for you. You need to, I'm going to take that from you and I'm going to reroute you entirely. So two very intense cards, but both talking about an end of an era, an end of a painful cycle. And we may have to build up from the ground up, even with the Tower. You know, it levels something in our lives and we may have to build from the ground up. But what we are building is right for us, is something that is aligned for us, and ultimately will lead us to be in a much happier place, which we were never going to find on that old path. So I hope that resonated for your country. Some heavy energies, big energies, but ultimately leading to more positive and more, like, as you say, a more healed place. So next up we have Ari, the beautiful Aries princess, my love. If you were here, oh no, sorry, Nettie, this is for you. But Ari after Nettie, please go for it. So Nettie, this is for you, a general reading. So what does Spirit want Nettie to know right now, please? What does Nettie need to know right now, please, Spirit? You're welcome, country. So Nettie, 3 of inspiration. I feel like this has come through for you before, but let me know, like recently. This is about your ships coming in when we see the 3 of inspiration, okay? Something that you may have been waiting on for some time, and it may have really tested your resilience, tested your faith, tested your hope that what you desire and what you want is actually going to come through for you. The three of inspiration is the promise that yes, it will. Okay, because we've got dominoes here, which is like a domino effect, and it's to me this today that speaks of, and for you, Nettie, it's like a tipping point of if you can hold this space, hold this energy. Spirit says don't give up. This is connected to your ambitions. This is connected to your heart's desires. This is something that is life-giving for you, Nettie, okay? And it really is a promise from Spirit that whatever that, so what resonates for you when I talk about something that is something that you feel passionate about, something that you have maybe longed for some time, and you have been holding space for this, because that's what we need to do. Okay, this goes for everyone, that thing that you desire, that thing that you want, and fear won't come through. It can sometimes feel very hopeless, and it feels sometimes that you aren't getting any confirmation from Spirit, and there doesn't seem to be any movement. But what we need to do in those times is just hold space, okay? Nature abhors a vacuum. So don't fill it with something less than, don't fill it with compromise, don't fill it with something that drains your energy. Leave an empty space, hold that space for what you really want. And there will be a tipping point, and there will have a domino effect, and then it will move fast when that does happen. So that's your message, Nettie. I hope it resonated. So next we have Sarah, if you were here, my love. We have Sarah, and then we have Divine Timing. If you want to go ahead and post your questions, please do. So we have Sarah, we have Divine Timing, we have Machi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If you are here, please go ahead and post your question. Let me know who still is here. That might be easier. Let me know who's here still and who I haven't read for, and we'll take it from there. Anyone who missed the list, I will be live back on Monday. You're very welcome, Nettie. And anyone who would be interested in a more in-depth reading, the list is still open for next week's Your Questions Answered video. Please do check the guidelines to be considered. Hey, Abhijit, I hope I'm... Just waiting for any questions. I don't know if anyone is here. Like I say, if you are here and you still, before I end the live, if you are here and you have a question, please go ahead and post it, and I will just read for whoever posts first. I'll just post it as we go. But I don't know if that's everyone. So Brigitte. Oh, there we go. Thank you. So a random person, post your question as well. Okay, so Brigitte asks, what are Rashi's current feelings for me? We are in no contact. Let's check this out for you, Brigitte. So a random person, just provide more context for me with regards to that question. So your twin flame, are you in a relationship? Are you in no contact? Let me know about what's going on for you right now. This allows me as an energy reader to connect with your energy. Okay? But this is for Brigitte and Rashi's current feelings. Muse of Voices, interesting, or the King of Swords. So they're still, Brigitte, they are still holding very stubborn to what they kind of think they're right. They have taken quite a tough stance on this connection. Okay, Brigitte, so if you've had harsh words maybe, or whatever's brought you into no contact, the King of Swords is like quite a tough character, and they are sticking to what, for right or wrong, okay, they think that they're right. They think that they're sticking to their truth. I'm going to pull one more card. Was this an actual falling out, or was it more of a ghosting? Was this like an actual, were harsh words said? Now, this is just current energy, so this can change. This may be a pattern, something that's happened in the past, that there is this stubbornness about this character, about them, and that they often can be sometimes maybe quite rigid in their thinking and rigid in their communication, about how they communicate, can be more on the harsher side. We had a fight, yeah, stop talking. So what's advice for Brigitte then, Spirit, please? Seven of Emotions. So you're faced, ultimately, the decision about if you want to continue with this connection, Brigitte, will be in your hands, okay? So I feel like that this person will come back into communication, but I think you need to ask yourself if this is right for you. The seven of emotions, or Seven of Cups, comes in to say that we have options, we have choices. The plenty more fish in the sea sort of quote comes to mind, yeah, which is kind of humorous, Spirit being humorous in some ways. So I feel like that this is a reminder from Spirit to say that if you're aware of it or not, you do have other options and other choices, i.e. other people where there can be connections that are built, romantic relationships, and ask yourself if it's right for you to go back to this. Because I feel like I say, the ball will be in your court. Ultimately, this person will come back into communication. But this is maybe a reoccurring, there's something about their energetic signature with this Muse of Voices, that they are a tough character. There is like that they think they're right, and there's a bit of a their way or the highway kind of vibe. So is that something that can align with you? Will that work for you long term? Free will, of course. You may choose to go back with this person to reconnect and pursue this connection. That's totally fine, and there can be lessons that we learn from people that we still need to go through. But also understand, Spirit wants you to understand, you do have options and choices. There are other connections out there available to you if you did want to pursue them. So I hope that resonated. So a random person says, what does my twin flame think about me right now? Not in too much contact. So have you been in a relationship, a random person, and then it broke down, or is this just an attraction? That's what I'm looking for with this. Devansha saying for you, Arjun feelings for you. Let me know about who Arjun is to you. Is this a past connection that's we're in no contact, etc.? No problem, divine timing, I'll still read for you. So guys, please post your questions. That's I'm an energy reader. Please be mindful of, you know, when I say I'm an energy reader and I need context, that's what I'm looking for. I need to know the more you're able to focus on your question and be clear about your message. You don't have to share everything, but it doesn't need to be enough for me to connect. So, like I say, Divyansha, tell me who is Arjun to you. Is this a past relationship, you know? Okay, so thank you, random person. That's great. Not in a relationship, it's an attraction. Okay, so let's see how they feel towards you. Divine timing, please go ahead and post your question. Like I say, the more context you can give me, the more meaningful reading you will have. So Divyansha, I know that we've explored that question quite a bit already for you. Tarot can only reflect back what's already known, so it might benefit more for you to ask about your own path forward instead. So do feel free to ask a different question, okay? A random person, this is for you. Let's have a look at their energy, okay? Oh, sorry, who am I? Yeah, so random person, this is for you. Well, this is nice energy, a random person here. So we have 4 of inspiration, which tells me that there is potential here for a connection, for something stable. Whenever we see 4, that talks about stability. And when it turns up in a love reading, it talks about the potential, a random person, of a connection and a commitment. Okay? Look at all these beautiful pinks, oranges. It's a very warm card. And inspiration is ruled by the element of fire, which talks about passion, desires. So this is very hopeful. This is very positive about this person, okay? Let's ask a card about what you should do, you know, how you should approach this to get the outcome that you desire, a random person, yeah? So Nelia, the reading list is closed today, unfortunately. I will be back live on Monday. If you want to join us then, please do. So tell me more about this 4 of inspiration and how should a random person approach this, please, Spirit? What's needed from you? Well, this is interesting. 3 of voices, some kind of Some kind of heartbreak coming up for you here. This is guidance and advice for you. So there's still some healing to be done on your part. Maybe some old wounds from the past here, a random person. This often comes through, so three voices when it talks about healing that is needed. It's about setting us up so that we are in a good place for the next love connection that comes through for us, yeah? So in the meantime, whilst we are waiting for this promising energy of commitment, of connection to come through, what can we do in the meantime? We can focus. What Spirit asks us to do is to focus on our own healing so that we are essentially in the best place possible to usher in this new love, not to bring in baggage essentially from the past. We all have it, but the more work that we can do in ourselves, the better positioned we will be to essentially set ourselves up for success. So I hope that resonated for you, a random person. So we have divine timing. This is for you. So Sarah, I called for you, but you weren't here, so I did have to skip you. Do catch me on Monday if you'd like to be, if you want a reading. I'll be live on Monday again. Divine timing, my love, this is for you. So divine timing says, what would be the outcome if I quit my weekend job? I need the money, but I'm burning out fast. Okay, let's take a look. What does Spirit advise for divine timing? Thanks, divine timing. You're here. Let me know. So like I said, Divyansha, we've looked at this question for a number of times now, so I would just take that information of what Tarot has said in previous readings. I think that it might benefit you more to ask about your own path, maybe looking at new love connections or a different area of your life, so please feel free to ask a different question. But this is for divine timing. Okay, let's see the energy around quitting this job. What does Spirit say? Ooh, Major Arcana, the Star card. This is interesting energy. What this has brought through divine timing, it says what's the long-term vision? Divine timing, okay? Because the Star card, it's a Major Arcana. And this is your energy, this is you. This is your wish, your dream, your long-term dream and a long-term goal which you have in mind, okay? This is you and your vision. What comes to mind when you say that? Let me know if this resonates, if you have one. And I feel like Spirit is asking you to say, is this job needed to achieve that? Like, does that support the dream? Should we push through? Or do we need that energy to actually focus on the bigger picture and the long-term dream? I'm going to pull one more question because I feel like I need to know more on this. Night materials. It is about being slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race to achieve this star card, the long-term dream. So obviously I'm not going to tell you, the cards aren't going to tell you to like how much do you need this money, okay? If it's about paying your bills and is gonna, you know, then it paying your bills and buying the food, then it's like we need to keep doing it, yeah, to keep ourselves afloat. We can't put ourselves in a vulnerable position. But if it's kind of extra money that like you could live without, then I would say let's do slow and steady, the Knight of Materials, where it's like it might take you a little bit longer to get to where you want to be. But it will be a healthier way, a better way, something that supports your long-term dream and your long-term vision. You need to redo your budget. So what I would say is, I think Spirit is saying, you know, you need to look after your spirit. You need to look after your soul. But yeah, if you can manage your money better to look after your spirit, okay, and look after the long-term dream of wherever you're heading, then it's better to manage the money, isn't it, and not burn out, to live within our means and not sacrifice ourselves in the now, because if you burn out, then you know, you could have health issues, you could have, you know, it's just not sustainable, okay? And then we may end up in a worse position than if we just drop this job. So I feel like maybe go slow and steady. And if you believe, yeah, that quitting this would benefit you in the long run, and create a new budget for yourself, like you say, as long as you have your basics all covered, whatever that is, you know, rent, money, you know, rent, bills, food, and enough to live on beyond that, then it's better to have a tighter budget and have more life, yeah? And go maybe financially where you want to be. It might take a bit more time, but it will actually be sustainable. And what you're doing now is potentially not sustainable, okay? So move slower, but we're actually making more progress. Now you're spinning the wheels and burning yourself out. So reset a new budget, divine timing, and see where that leaves you and see if it's possible, okay? I hope that resonated. Okay, yeah, redo your budget and see where that leaves you. But it feels like Spirit is saying, if you can financially, leave that for now. Think of that we're thinking long term here more than just in the now and short term. So I hope that resonates. Okay, so Devansha would like what's coming next in love. You're very welcome, Devansha. You have a blessed day too. Sorry, divine timing. Have a blessed day too. Devansha, this is for new love. What's coming next in love? We're moving the focus away from that past person. Muse of Voices. So this is interesting. I feel like this is actually a new person coming through for your Divyansha. So the King of Voices or the Muse of Voices. This is someone who is very direct in their energetic signature. Okay, King of Voices is quite a tough cookie. They're a king as well, which is good, or a muse in this deck. This means that they know themselves, they have life experience, they have a maturity about them. So if we see a knight, they sometimes can have an immaturity and have an in-out energy. When we see a king or a muse, that's someone who's really lived, yeah, and they know what they want and know what they don't want by this point. And this is someone who is very direct in how they communicate. So if they have feelings for you, they'll make that clear. You may recognize this person's energy already in your energy field, Divyansha, but if not, then this is what can be coming through next in love, is this person. So I would be open to this. There is potential here to them. And this has come through very clearly from Spirit to say this is a new person and this is their energetic signature. So something for you to recognize when you see it. Yes, so something to be mindful of. This is someone who is very committed to their truth as well, which is nice. They aren't someone who is scared to say what they really think and say what they really feel. So that's interesting. So keep us posted, Divyansha. So Machi, I did call you, but you weren't here, so I do have to move on when that happens. So that was the live, guys. Thank you for everyone that asked a question. If you did miss your reading, obviously you do need to be here if I call your name. If you aren't here when I call your name, then I do just have to skip you to keep things moving. But I will be live back on Monday if you want to catch me then for another chance for a reading. But thank you for everyone that did ask a question, that did post. Thank you for being here. Have a blessed rest of the day, rest of the evening, wherever you are. Love and light. Take care, guys.